Hello everyone, this is Prashanth. Let's continue with the last lecture here. So this is the lecture on question bank discussion on the M2M, that is mission to mission communication, which is available in the module 2. So this is module 2. So here in the last class just we have discussed about the question bank discussion on some various things like IoT system management and simple network management protocol. Apart from that, we have different communication technologies also, like that we discussed. So here this is the question bank discussion on mission to mission technology. So these are the some sample questions which I get from the question bank. State and explain M2M communication with example. Classify differences between IoT and mission to mission, and state and explain about mission to mission communication with example. Relate M2M and WSN protocol with suitable examples. So these are the questions which are getting from question bank. So before that, first we have to know the what is mission to mission in the so this is under the IoT networks and management system, that is the domain name. And types of communications in IoT, applications of mission to mission, key features of mission to mission, architecture and components of mission to mission, requirements of mission to mission. The last one, what are the differences between IoT and mission to mission. So here the mission to mission is one of the communication way. It is not in the part of IoT. It is compared with IoT. It is different. So that is the other thing we will discuss in the next class. So here types of communication. Here we based on that types of smart devices communicate with each other, exchange of information, perform some specific tasks without any human involvement. So these devices are embedded with electronics, software, network and sensors which help in communication. The communication between smart devices is very important in IoT as it enables these devices to gather, exchange data which contribute to success of that IoT product or project. So here we have communication, mission to mission, human to mission, or mission to mission, mission to human, or human to human. These are the four types of ways of communication. So our agenda is mission to mission here. Mission to mission communication is a form of data communication that involves one or more entities to do not necessarily require human interaction and or intervention in the process of communication. The M2M is also named as mission type of communication, MTC. Mission type communication in 3GPP. It is different from current communication models in the way that it involves. So here it could be carried over the mobile networks like GSM, GPRS, CDMA, video network. In the M2M communication, the role of mobile network is largely confined to serve as a transport network. So this is the new or different market scenarios and low cost or effort, potentially very large number of communicating terminals, little traffic per terminal in general. So these are the different some specifications regarding mission to mission communication, and it having some applications here in terms of security, tracking and tracing, remote maintenance and control, health monitoring system, payments, metering, manufacturing. The last one, facility management. So these are the different applications of mission to mission in order to provide the security, surveillance, alarm system, access control, and car driver security. Like that, we have different applications in security. Tracking and tracing, fleet management, order management, pay as you drive, assist to tracking navigation, traffic information, route rolling and traffic optimization, steering, and remote maintenance and control, sensors, lighting, pumps, valves, elevator control or vending machine control or vehicle diagnostics, like that. The health monitoring vital signs supporting to the aged or handicapped web access, telecom, medicine points or remote diagnostics. So these are the some applications of mission to mission communication. and low mobility, packet switched time, online small data transmissions, monitoring, low level consumption, local specific triggering, time controlled and time told. And so these are the remaining of key features of machine to machine. So these are the some components of architecture and components of machine to machine here. It having M2M device, area network, gateways to build communication among the associate devices, and communication network, network domain, and machine to machine applications here. So here application under application domain, network domain, and M2M machine domain. And application domain, just we have a client with M2M application. In the network domain, just we have different gateways or different real time uh, towers, nameplates, capabilities like that. Under domain, different area network just we follow. So these are the architecture and components of machine to machine. Device capable of replying up to request for data contained within those devices are capable of transmitting a data autonomously. And sensors and communication devices are the endpoints that M2M applications generally. Devices can connect directly to an operator's network. They will probably interconnect using WPAN technologies, WPAN technologies such as Zigbee or Bluetooth. And backhaul and operators network is then achieved via gateways. The encapsulate and manages all devices, consequently addressing and identifying of the network. Example, routing of the data of the device relies heavily on the gateways. Next domain, network area, M2M area network, and M2M communication network, and M2M applications. M2M applications. So these are the main domains of gateway. And gateway equipment that uses M2M capabilities to ensure M2M device interworking and interconnection to the communication network. Gateways and routers are the endpoints of the operator's network in scenarios where sensors and M2M devices do not connect directly to the network. Thus, the task of gateways and routers are twofold. Firstly, they have to ensure that the devices of the capillary network may be reached from outside and vice versa. These functions are addressed by the access enablers such as identification, addressing, accounting, etc. The operators platform are have to be supported at the gateways side as well as. So these are the M2M gateway and the requirements for machine to machine here. The application communication principles here. The M2M system shall be able to allow communication between M2M applications in the network and application domain. This device M2M device or M2M gateway by using multiple communication example SMS, short memo service, and GPR, General Packet Radio Service, and IP address. Message delivery for sleeping device also. The M2M system shall be able to manage communication towards a sleeping device also. In terms of delivery modes, the M2M system shall support any cast or unicast, multicast, and broadcast communication modes. Whenever possibly, a global broadcast should be replaced by a multicast in order to minimize the load on the communication network. So these are the three M2M application communication principles. Message delivery for sleeping devices, delivery modes. Next, message requirements for machine to machine continuation, message transmission scheduling, message communication path selection, communication with devices between the M2M gateway, and communication failure notification. So these are the failure notification and application based on the requesting reliable delivery of a message. It shall be notified as a failure to deliver the message. Next, scalability, abstraction of technology heterogeneity, and MTM service capability, discovery and registration, mobility. So these are the requirements. And differences between IoT and M2M. Just you can see the here the best example for M2M is ATM machine. Just if you want to draw from your ATM, just you can insert the ATM inside the ATM. Just it can fetches the details from the server. The server also one of the mission. The communication is going on server and ATM mission. So this is one of the mission. This is also one of the mission. The communication is going on both missions. This is called M2M communication. Okay, so this is the example of IoT and machine. With the help of car, just you can open the lock the door or close the key of car like that. Just you can example. So these are the communication protocols available in the M2M. The focus on communication IoT is usually the protocols above the network layer such as HTTP, COAP, WebSockets, MQ2T, XMPP, DDS, and this. So these are all are the protocols very important. In previous lectures also I will explain clearly MQ2T, XMPP, Extensible Message Protocol, DDS, AMQP, Advanced Messaging Queue Protocol, like that we have. Next, hardware versus in terms of hardware versus and software versus emphasis, and data collection and also one of the difference between IoT and M2M. So these are the in terms of some basic differences between IoT and mission to mission. In terms of intelligence, first, in terms of intelligence, devices have objects that are responsible for decision making. That is the in IoT. Some degrees of intelligence is observed on this code. That is the M2M. Which type of connections is used in IoT via network or using various communication types. The connection is a point to point. And communication protocol is used HTTP, FTP, or Telnet. The traditional protocols and communication technology techniques are used to develop the network. And in terms of data sharing, data is shared between other applications that are used to improve the end user experience, that is in IoT. But in M2M, the data is shared with only communication parties only. The defined device only it can send like that. In terms of internet connectivity is required for communication. It is not dependent on the internet to just type of communication. It supports cloud, supports point to point communication. And computer system, it involves the uses of both hardware and software. They are mostly hardware based technology you can use. Just M2M is nothing but mission. Mission is nothing but hardware devices like that. So the computation like that, the scope of IoT, a large number of devices, scope is large, just nearly 50 billions of devices can connect to the internet up to the 2020 only. But we are in 2024, almost 75 billions of devices can connect to the internet. Limited scope for devices and business types used, business to business and B2B, and business to consumer, business to business only. And API support, application open API integration. This is no support for open API, and it requires generic community devices, specialized devices solutions, and centric information and secure service centric, communication devices centric. Approach is used horizontal enabler approach, vertical system solution approach. Components. Device are sensors, connectivity, data processing, and user interface. Device area network, gateway, application server, like that. The last one examples are smart wearable, big data, cloud, etc., and sensor data and information, etc. These are the examples of IoT and mission to mission. So these are the different types of in terms of basic intelligent connection, which type of connections is used to connect the devices, and the communication, which type of communication protocols is used to connect the devices, and data sharing in terms of internet types of communication, which type of cloud communication or whatever the communication is support, and computer system scope. What is the scope of these two, IoT and mission to mission? Which type of business it maintain, either business to business or business to customer or business consumer to business like that. And Open API supports, it requires some generic community devices. Centric approach is used of components and example. So these are the references I used for this lecture. So this is the question bank discussion on the various thing, that is IoT and machine to machine communication technology. So remaining continue with the next lecture. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.